Well, alright. It is day 30 of the Movie a Day Challenge. We made it. Yes. And they saved the best for last. Literally. Day 30 asked what our best horror movie is. Again, that's one of those ones where it's like, worst horror movie. Well, there's so many that fit that bill, it's hard to narrow it down to one. I have a lot of horror movies that I'm very, very fond of. A lot of them that I love watching. I could probably do a top 20 list of horror movies that I never get tired of watching. But it wants one, our favorite. So I'm going to stick true to form, not give it any other thought, because this is one that's been a favorite of mine for years and years and years. Little backstory in case anybody has never heard the story of my favorite movie. I was about 8 years old. My mom, a single mom, went out with some friends, and they decided to go see a movie. They went to see a movie that they had no idea what it was about. They had never heard of it before. They just wanted to go do something that night. So they went to go see it. Now, I keep wanting to sneeze. Yeah, so they went to see this movie, and when my mom finished seeing it, she came home and she told me about it. And I remember I said I was 8 years old. This is 2 years of me being a horror fan, of being into horror movies. By now, there's no turning back. There's definitely no turning back. Love horror movies. Love to be scared, you know. But up until this point, none of the movies I saw really scared me that much. They scared me in the movie theater, but they didn't have that long-standing fright deep down inside. So I say that for a reason. It'll come up later. So my mother comes home. Oh, Derek, this movie I saw. Oh, you should have seen it. Obviously, I shouldn't have seen it because she didn't. She never let me see it. But she described this movie to me, and my imagination just went berserk, trying to imagine all these things she was telling me, trying to picture each thing that she told me. And I was like, wow, that sounds crazy. Can I see it? Oh, no, you can't. You're too little. So I would see this movie advertised in the paper. I would see this movie advertised in the local theaters right around my house, and I would always want to go see it, and the answer was always no. Absolutely not. Like I said, my mother's a single parent, which means my dad is living in another state, which every once in a while during the summer or the spring, depending on when time would allow, I would go visit him. Me and my brother both would go stay with him for a month or so. So 1979 rolls around, and I believe it was 79. Not 100% on this one, guys, but I think around 79, which wasn't too far after the story I was just telling. I don't want to make it sound like there's this big gap of time, because this movie I'm talking about was still in the theaters. I go to visit him for the summer. And the day I'm there, the first day I'm there, he says, "You want to go to a movie tonight?" And he always went to the drive-ins. He's a smoker, so he had to go to the drive-ins. He hated going to movie theaters where he couldn't smoke and stuff. He loved to smoke while he watched his movies. So we always went to the drive-in. He goes, "You want to go to a movie tonight?" I'm like, "Yes, sure, I want to go to a movie." He tosses me the paper, the classified ads. He goes, "Pick one." So I open it up, I look, and miracle of miracles, the movie I've been wanting to see, the one my mother won't let me see, is showing at the drive-in we're going to that night. Without any hesitation, I tell him, "I want to see this one." All right. Dad wasn't too stiff on the kind of movies I watched, so he was like, "Sure, whatever, let's go." And that was the night that I saw the movie that would forever change my small little psyche at the time. It was the first movie that scared me so bad, I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep, no matter how tired. I'd stay in my room. My dad would say, time to go to bed. Come on, get to bed. And I'd go in my room and close the door, and I'd stay up all night with the light on, the radio playing, and until I saw the sun coming up, I couldn't go to sleep. I always thought the guy in this movie was going to come for me, and he was going to kill me. I was frightened, and I missed that feeling. And the movie I speak of, I'm sorry it took so long getting to the point, but the movie I speak of is Don Coscarelli's masterpiece, Phantasm. Now, this movie is very dated. Anyone who's seen it now for the first time would be like, that scared you? You gotta be kidding me. This movie isn't that good, man. It's not, but you don't understand. Okay? Up until that point, a movie like that had never been made. We had Halloween, we had stuff that we could understand. You have a killer, he kills people, they're dead, end of story. This was dealing with dimensions, this was dealing with other worlds, this was dealing with, but not in a nice way. Not like, oh look, we're not alone in the universe, we can all be friends. No. This had that dark, dismal, foreboding feeling to it, and it tapped into a lot of fears that kids my age had. Graveyards. Who wasn't scared of graveyards? There's a yard full of dead people. Some people find like peace and solemnness there now. I do. When I go to a cemetery, it's a serene feeling. But when I was a child, oh man, my imagination just went berserk around the cemetery. Imagine what's in there. So that movie tapped into that fear. Cemeteries, graves, just very, very creepy stuff. And the imagery in there, although, like I said, the movie's pretty dated, but they did the most with what they had as far as special effects, and I think they pulled it off very, very well. You had that ultimate flying sphere, this one. Magic Trick. How did the cover change? I own both. You guys knew that. I didn't have to tell you that. Yeah. This one I ordered from a seller on Amazon. This one was sent to me by a very good friend, Foy Storm. This is a UK release. And I still plan on getting the Anchor Bay one with the white slip cover. Thank you. But yes, that is my pick for favorite horror movie. It's been a favorite of mine since I first saw it back in '79. If you haven't kept up with the statistics, I guess, or I don't even know if that's the right word, but if you haven't kept up with it, I've seen this movie over 200 times, and it's not an exaggeration. It's not like, oh, I've seen it 1,000,000 times. No, I actually had a bet with a friend of mine, because every time he came to my house, it seemed like I was watching this movie. He goes, man, aren't you sick of that movie yet? And I was like, I am sick of this movie. I could watch this movie 100 times and still not be sick of it. He says, it's a bet. This is when I was like 15, 16. He goes, it's a bet. So every time I watched it, I kept track of how many times I watched it. I hit 101. He goes, and you still want to see it? I'm like, I'll always want to see this movie. He goes, can you go another 100? Let's see. It took me a lot longer to get to the other 100. We parted ways. He went and started a life, and I was gone. But since then, I've kept track up until I hit 200. After that, I stopped counting. So if I had to estimate how many times I've seen this movie, 217 is a fair estimation. 217, right around there. Not kidding. I've seen it on just about every format that is available. I've seen it in the movie theater, which is, film print. Then on VHS, on Beta, on video disc, on Laserdisc, both analog and digital, on DVD, Haven't seen it on Blu-ray yet. I don't even know if there's a Blu-ray release. I'll have to look into that. And I've never seen it on 8mm, 16mm film, the little home films. Never seen it on that, although I have seen it available, and I would love to get my hands on a copy of that just because. I have the Tall Man action figure. I still want to get the movie poster that looks like that. A t-shirt would be awesome. And to meet Angus Scrimm is still my life's goal. He ain't going to be around much longer, I know that. God bless him. But to meet him and shake the hand of the man who frightened me to death would just be an honor to me. So, there you have it, people. Day 30, favorite horror movie, Phantasm. And I hope everybody enjoyed the 30-day challenge. And I noticed on another video that somebody listed the bonus questions, the next 10. Is that official? I know Tattoo Doorman's watching this video. He watches all of them. Thank you for that, Ted. But are those the official questions? Because I can get rolling on day 31 tomorrow, and I already have them written down, and I already have them all answered in a list. So I'm ready to go on that. If those are the official ones, let me know. But officially, for me anyway, the 30-day challenge has been met, and it's over. So, thanks, guys. Again, everyone who was a part of this. I feel I know you all just a little bit better now, and that's always a good thing. And always enjoy seeing the responses from people. There's such a varied mix of opinions when it comes to movies, and that's what keeps it lively. You know, if we all liked the same things, it would get boring, wouldn't it? We can only glad hand each other so much and be like, oh, it's the best movie ever, isn't it? The best movie ever? Yeah, it's the best movie ever. Oh, I love it. One of us has to be like, that movie sucked ass. How do you even like that movie? And then we have a little friendly back and forth, and it's really cool that way. So, again, thanks, guys. You guys rock. I'll be talking to you guys soon.